Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. So recently I was on YouTube and I was just, surfing the web, watching videos, and sometimes you go down a bit of a trip of memory lane and you watch some old videos that you used to enjoy and used to inspire you a lot and all the rest of it like that. Well, that's exactly what I did, and I came across a video that I first watched back when LimeWire and Emule was a thing. Way before YouTube and stuff like that. I say way before, like a few years before things like YouTube and Google Video came out. I used to download videos to try and watch them. And speaking specifically about Nuno Bettencourt, because of course, as you know, if you watch my channel, I'm a huge Nuno fan. Now, I wanted to make a video about this particular video because I didn't realise just how much of an influence it was on my playing. Because obviously, when we talk about our influences and our favourite records and the favourite solos to learn and all the rest of it, Porno Graffiti, Three Sides to Every Story, The Extremist from Joe Satriani, I can reel off these albums. But what I've learned more and more about the way I've learned things and been influenced by things are specific things, like a specific lick or a specific chord progression or passage, or it could be a film score, it could be a solo, it could be a riff, it could be a chord progression, it could be just someone playing. Which leads me on to this video. This is a random video called Riff the N-Funk that was from a young guitar magazine. I'm not sure where it came from because, like I said, I downloaded it on Emule. I used to just search Nuno Bettencourt videos or Nuno Bettencourt solo, and any videos that came up on the search, I downloaded them to see what they were because I was obsessed. I wanted to learn everything. So I got this video, Riff the N-Funk. If you know Nuno like me, if you're a fan of Nuno, you'll know he's not a huge fan of interviews and guitar lessons and so on and so forth. He'd rather you learn from ear, and I fully agree with that. It's how I like to learn, but learn things your own way. Now, this video isn't him teaching specific extreme solos or anything like that. What's really cool about it is it's just him playing. It's like a fly on the wall video where he's sat in front of the camera and he's just riffing out, just jamming. And for me, I learned so much from this one video. So I'll show you a few sections of it in particular, but I want to point out things like the technique, the improvisation, the freedom rhythmically to move around, and I soaked all this up. And for me, it's responsible. I feel like it's really responsible for the way I always feel like I'm jamming to a groove if I'm playing on my own, or when I'm riffing and doing the kind of funky, just messing around pentatonic jam stuff. I feel like this is where I was influenced and inspired to try and do that. So I wanted to show you the video and point out those bits. Now, before I do that, I just want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to play real quick, and then it's going to be cool because we can go back to this video and it's almost like that's where I learned that was the thing you could do on the guitar. So that's a really quick example of what I'm talking about. I love doing this all the time. I feel like I'm always playing with a drummer in mind. And so now we're going to take a look at the video where I feel I learned to do that from. So here we go. So I've loaded up the video, as you can see, and some of you are probably familiar with what this is. But for those who aren't, this is where I feel it all began for me in terms of this style of playing. I will apologise for the audio quality. It was like this. I remember exactly how bad the MP3 quality was when I first saw it, and it's still the same. But anyway, forgive me for that. Check it out. This is really cool. Here we go. Ugh. So hopefully you can see what I'm talking about here. It was so exciting to see this because I really connected with it. I thought it was so cool. He's jamming. It feels like there's a drummer and a bass player there, but there isn't. And I can hear what he's doing and how free it felt like he was being, just jamming away, like had this groove going. And one thing I really picked out was how loose his wrist was. Because back then I was learning to play guitar and I'm left-handed, so my picking hand was really naff, and I wanted to understand how to get it better, and I really connected with this. It was so loose and so free, and particularly that passage that goes that kind of, you know, that exact feeling was from this video. That's where I got inspired to do that. So anyway, let's carry on. So it's also worth pointing out that it's a kind of warts and all video. He's not like, as I said, he's a bit uncomfortable doing this kind of thing on camera, it seems like. But anyway, he's just jamming away, and like I said, there are mistakes and there are things in here, and he even apologizes for it at the end of the video. Like, he says that his guitar playing's terrible, but for me, I didn't see any of that. I was just amazed by this, the way he was jamming around. So let's carry on. Look how loose the wrist is. So what I wanted to point out there is he's playing individual notes. All that stuff, it's because he's muting with the rest of the strings, with the rest of his fingers. And I was watching, I was like, how is his wrist moving that freely over all the strings, but I'm only hearing the single note, and also I'm hearing rhythm behind that, and that's where I learned about that. That's really cool as well. So apologies for the string ring stuff, but I'm trying to do all this in one go, so you'll be able to hear some of that. But yeah, the freedom of the wrist I found to be really, that was the most inspiring thing I was taking at this point. So anyway, let's carry on. So you get the idea. He's just kind of messing around. Doesn't really have an agenda in mind, but he's jamming. So let's move on to a different part of the video. Yeah, this is great. So this is him again. It's almost like he's playing lead over a backing band. And again, it was really enjoyable to hear the change in melodies here, and some of the note choice is really cool. Warts and all, remember? If that's such a thing. And you hear how like articulate he's being. He's going between being really driven with it. And that, again, I was hearing dynamics and the difference between picking hard and soft, and he was really good at demonstrating that without teaching you anything. He was just playing. I mean, the audio quality is horrendous, but it didn't matter. You know, I didn't care at the time. So let's move on. There's one more bit that I really want to show you. Anyone know what that is? Comment below. This bit of the video is where I feel like I learned a bit more about the melodic side of playing, like he's just sort of free-flowing. It's less about the groove and more about the note choice and stuff. You'll see what I mean. So then let me skip it to the specific bit I'm talking about. Yeah, so now he moves up, the guitar starts going out of tune. But what I really want to point out here is it's the freedom of the picking hand. There's one specific lick, and then again, just the way he's playing around it, you'll see what I mean.
It's very cool, you know, for the right song.
His wrist now. So I don't know if any of you are watching this going, I don't know what he's talking about, what is going on there. For me, like, there's something about the way he's playing around and not trying to show off or teach anything. He's just kind of feeling it. And it was really enjoyable to have a look into that side of his playing, because, you know, we always hear the records and the solos and stuff, but we don't actually get to see the stuff in between. And that's what I feel like this was. Super insightful for me and super inspiring. So yeah, hopefully you can see there that, like, as I said the other day, I was just messing around on YouTube and I came across that video and went, oh my God, I haven't seen that in years. And I loved that video and went to go and watch it and was like, oh my God, I didn't realize how inspiring this video was to me and how much it influenced my guitar playing. I had no idea until I watched it back. And it's so funny because it's such a specific little bits, but honestly, I can't express enough how much that how much of a doorway that was for me as a guitar player learning just from that. And there's also, the icing on the cake is there's like a backing track thing at the end of this video over some footage of him having a photo shoot, but he's improvising over that too. And for me, that was the bit where everything that he showed in that video is put into practice there. There's the rhythm, there's the licks, there's the attitude, and it's sick. But yeah, let me just show you that bit now. Let's have a quick listen. Right, yeah, so here we go. This is the tune. And I managed to download this tune as well. It's sick. He gets going with the wah. Check it out. All rhythm. Rhythm. Then triplets over it. No, this is where it gets good. Oh, more melody. Melody. And this is where it gets good, the odd note stuff. Back to some pentatonics. Oh. And then back to the opening. So you get the idea. I'm sorry for getting so excited like over that, and I'm sorry, I don't know if John probably won't cut that down because it's pretty stupid really, but yeah, you can see why I was so floored with excitement from this video, because it was just like, could that guitar playing get any cooler at the end there? There's so many bits that I've taken, and I have, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but there's so many bits, you know, that kind of, with the right sound of course, and the right player. So yeah, that would kind of conclude this video. It was really just to share with you something that I'd reminded myself of that I found really beneficial, like really inspired me genuinely beyond my wildest imagination of one tiny little video and insignificant felt like at the time. Like, there's just this little video that actually had such a big impact. And you know, it's not to discredit all the other stuff that of course I'm influenced by me when I was playing guitar and learning, but yeah, I honestly think that video in particular was responsible for a lot. It wasn't even a lesson, it wasn't even do this, do that, play like this, play like that, but it was it spoke to me, and also it was like, here's a demonstration, here's an example of what you can do with it. And then for me it was like, okay, well, I'll take that on board and kind of just see where I get with it. And of course there's stuff that I've taken, or should I say, like, influenced me, and I've definitely taken licks from some of that and thrown it in when I'm improvising and stuff. But I think, you know, it's the same as learning your favourite licks from your favourite guitarist and them creeping their way in as well. You can almost hear guitarists that are influenced by certain players. You can hear if someone's influenced by Paul Gilbert or Jimmy Page or Nuno Bettencourt or Joe Satriani or Vite. You can hear that, and I feel like this is one of those things. Specifically this video, I feel like you can hear some of that video in when I play. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was fun. Hope it was something interesting and a bit different. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I'm going to rack my brains and try and see if I can think of anything else that I've forgotten about that was really helpful for me as a guitar player and share it with you guys. But, you know, to be honest, this was just an off-the-cuff discovery, and I was like, yep, I'm going to do that in a video and show it to you guys. So hopefully it was fun. In any case, like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all very soon.